Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you are having a fantastic day. If you haven't already, please like, comment, share. I do leave a comment section open for the first few hours. I interact with as many people as possible. And if you haven't already, check out membership. At the Awaken Your Mind level and above, there's about 24 classes. And remember, the only way that you can get a reading now is through membership. Members, you know when I open up the doorway for you to sign up. Plus, not to mention, on those nights where I do the lives with the members, I read for over 25 members each one of those nights. So, plus the nights that I channel, you actually get to get channeled information based on your questions, right from Raha. This month it is the sun god Ra. Typically it's angels, sometimes it's Palladians or whomever wants to come through, but this month we will actually do a real Egyptian ritual. You'll see the honey and the bread, the water, all that sort of thing. Here's some of the Egyptian words and like how it would have been done back in the day. So today we're going to be looking at Gavin Newsom. Now we know that Gavin Newsom is suing Fox, right? Suing Fox News. For $787 million, saying that they had doctored videos. And, that is something that I think is going to become increasingly a bigger and bigger problem with, now that we have AI, these deep fakes and all of that, right? So it's not just him. But let me say, I don't think he's doing this because he actually thinks he's going to get like $800 million from Fox News. No, I think he's actually playing a much more strategic game. And that is, he is setting himself up to run for president with the next election. And I will say, I think he actually has a pretty good chance. We're going to look at that, but I actually do. Now, I know people have mixed feelings about him, but remember what I keep saying, we are ending a two-party system. And if we get a Democrat, they're not going to act like a typical Democrat. If we get a Republican, they're not going to act like a typical Republican. I'm not surprised with Elon saying, he's starting this new party. There's more and more parties to come until people start running as individuals. And then eventually from there, we will just have peace and harmony and we won't have all this ridiculousness, but we're still a ways away from that. But I think he is positioning himself with this brand recognition, right? Because when people vote, they vote with the name that they recognize. And so now he's getting all these Republicans, MAGAs, all these folks saying his name. I think this was strategic on his part. Let's see about him and what he's doing with Fox, what his bigger plans are. Let's see what Spirit has to say for us, because I think there's more to this story. I think he knows darn well he's not getting $800 million from Fox. And then we're going to finish with a 3-card pull with a deck that I haven't used for a long time. It's a Heal Yourself deck. It's actually really beautiful. I think you might really like it. Page of Pentacles. He's looking for new opportunities, new contracts. He probably is, maybe to some degree, looking for some compensation, and he may get some compensation. I'm not saying he's not going to get nothing, but I'm not feeling 800 million, but he may be a little brokenhearted. He's not getting the 800 million, but I would say he's not really expecting it either, but I would also say that this may not give him the traction he was hoping for. We will see. 9 of Cups. All right. So this, when everything is said and done, it kind of works out here. Here he is feeling smug, satisfied. This is wishes fulfilled, right? I mean, all 9 cups are upright. They're golden. They're beautiful. They're full. He is just sitting there so happy and content. So yes, that is really nice. And new opportunities, new offers coming his way. So this is the Knight of Cups for those of you that listen. It's the bottom of the deck. So I think he knows very well what he's doing. He is playing a bigger game here. And I actually do think he may end up being the Democratic candidate when everything is said and done. But let's see. And once again, I'm staying kind of neutral on this, you know, because we are, first of all, a few years out. And I really can't influence any of this anyways. So this is Heal Yourself reading cards by, I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. I think it's Inna Segal. They're really beautiful. I'm going to shuffle them. Ask Spirit what it is you need to know. They're so like slippery. I'm just going to take the top three. They are slippery. Okay, here we go. Do you feel drawn to 1, 2, or 3? Don't second guess it. Go with your gut. You're intuitive. You've got this. Here we go. Number 1 is actually the card of healing. So if you have been struggling with a health issue, with, you know, getting over an illness, whether it's a disease of some sort, even though I always do like to say dis-ease, right? Sometimes these things are from having a job that we hate, living a lifestyle that we hate, living in the wrong place, that kind of thing, right? It does create havoc with our bodies. And sometimes it can be psychological. You know, we can have mental illnesses from living a life that just doesn't suit us. And this says, look, you're healing, you're getting better, things are changing. Okay. Number 2, cycles. And you know what? It's true. Everything does go in cycles, whether it's the earth, whether it's our lives. You know, you're going from one Saturn return to another Saturn return, right? You know, oh gosh, yeah, my Saturn return when I was 30, that was nuts. So I'm glad that there's decades in between. But everything happens in cycles. And so this makes me feel like you are getting ready to end a cycle, start a new one. And then lastly, love. And it does show another person there, because normally I would keep it more open to, it could be self-love, that sort of thing. But where there's another person, this actually could be a romantic love. This could be love with another person. So if you're in a relationship, deepening that love, having that second honeymoon, or if you've been alone, this is the universe giving you your partner. So I love that. I love all those for you. So, all right, my friends, if you haven't already, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get my subscription numbers up there. I always appreciate that. Check out membership here in my YouTube channel. You hit the join button. And I will see everybody in a few days. Bye, everyone.